Welcome to Touch Base Tuesdays, where we touch base on Tuesdays. Yesterday, I attended a day-long symposium on the life and legacy of Ida B. Wells at Columbia University's Graduate School of Journalism, where I got my master's in 2010. And the day honored and explored Wells's impact on paving the way for investigative journalism as we know it today. And while there's so much of what was said in all of the panels and offstage with folks I met in attendance as well that I know will stick with me for a long time to come and continue to have me thinking and on my toes as a journalist, as an activist, as an artist, as a human being. What I can't quite shake is when I walked into the building yesterday morning, on the two walls encompassing the front door are photographs and names of all of the journalists who have died in Gaza and Israel since October 7th. And I got choked up. I can't even talk about it without getting choked up. So here we are. There's so many reasons that it made me really emotional. The privilege of being named in death. I think of the 32,000 people who have been killed since the war began, 31,000 Palestinian deaths, 1,200 Israeli deaths, and so many of those names we don't know. And so that was one layer. And the other, it's not because I'm also a journalist, it's that as of today, 95 journalists have been killed, 90 Palestinian, 2 Israeli, and 3 Lebanese. And the wall is the doings of a student group at the school, the Arab and Middle Eastern Journalists Association, with support from the DEIA administrator at the J School. And I think what has me so shaken is, so all this information is taken from, I'm looking at the Committee to Protect Journalists. There's a link I'll add in my bio, and it says, CPJ is investigating all reports of journalists and media workers killed, injured, or missing in the war, which has led to the deadliest period for journalists since CPJ began gathering data in 1992. So then I think about what's happened since 1992. Bosnia, Rwanda, Iraq, Afghanistan, Tigray, Congo, Sudan, what is happening now in Palestine and Israel. And then I think back to Ida B. Wells and what was it that she was investigating? Lynching. And I think of it's not disconnected that 95 journalists have been killed trying to report and investigate on what is happening. And that it's not to compare to the 32,000 lives lost. But as a journalist, we are trained to understand data and understand when data is part of telling the story. The deadliest loss of journalists, that is part of the story. Whose stories are being told? whose stories will never be told, what truths we are circumventing, what truths we are witnessing through, and sometimes we don't even have to investigate. The data tells the story and should be enough to fucking shake us to our cores. Deep RT.